come in here, but you know, this could be a confidence booster considering that they have one incoming player starting tonight.
Yes, good thing you mentioned that right off the top, because Trey Anderson, who made his debut just a few days ago before that 8-day break against the Niagara River Lions, he's making his first career start tonight. And he's somebody that, for example, assistant coach Phil Alexander mentioned to me, seen as someone, a tough player that can play against a tough team. And tonight, this is a tough team to face, especially this London Lightning squad for the Windsor Express, because this is a deep team. For Trey Anderson, he's somebody that can be, after making a good play of 8 points as well as a 1 assist, 1 rebound in his opening debut in 18 minutes, that can be somebody that could become a bit of a spark plug if he can get off and going and running to start things off for this Windsor side.
And you know, Phil Alexander, one of the coaches for the Windsor Express, said it as well too. A confident shooter, high IQ for this guy, so we expect nothing but big game from him tonight. The London Lightning, on the other hand, it seems like they're getting the nucleus of their championship season from a year ago again, after coming off with the impressive victory against the Titans this past Wednesday night. Royce White coming back in. We seen Kyle Johnson coming back about a week ago, and now it's the return of Doug Herring Jr. What should we expect from him?
Doug Herring Jr., you should expect somebody that's going to really help this London squad off the bench, especially scoring and especially with the assists and as well as with some rebounds, because he was somebody last season in terms of win shares, according to Real GM, 5.5 game win share, which for his season with the length of the NBLC, that is a major impact for a guy, especially returning from France, where he also made an impact in 14 games in the starting lineup. Somebody that can be somebody that will add on to this championship nucleus from last season and coming into the perfect time at the starting in the opening month and a half for London, and a lot of time to adjust. I spoke with Coach Keith Bassell a few minutes ago actually about this, and he said that Doug Herring Jr. adjusted to the system very fast. So fast, in fact, that as long as Doug Herring Jr. is going to be red hot tonight, he's going to stay on the floor. So he's going to be somebody that's going to be an impact. If he can shoot the ball well, he's going to stay in the game for possibly much of tonight.
And you know, you expect a veteran player like him to adjust to his system and his system only, but you know, Keith Vassell, like we mentioned time and again, is a well-disciplined coach, has a well-disciplined system, so it's nice to see players from years past come in and immediately absorb this system quickly. So now, let's talk about the keys of the game. The Windsor Express, they really need to shake off that loss last week against Niagara. How can they do that?
They have to do that, and one, to try and turn down the personal fouls, because they lead the NBLC in personal fouls a game. If they get into foul trouble tonight, especially Devin White and Trey Anderson, who, by the way, also had 4 fouls, they're going to be in a situation where they're going to be allowing London to make a parade to the free throw line. They can't allow that. They also have to be able to compete as well and keep up with the scoring, because, you know, London, they're going to go fast tempo. In fact, Keith Vassell said himself, they never play slow. Yes, I've felt like that sometimes, but expect them to start ramping up the tempo slowly as each game continues to go on. And tonight will be no exception. You got to keep up with the pace. And as well, speaking of tempo, and we were discussing this as well, Windsor cannot just try to adjust their game slowly and not quick enough to the tempo the other team's playing, because that is something that got them a bit behind to start off on the score sheet and have to try and come back from 20 down, 18 down, 16 down. If they get in that situation tonight, they might not be able to come back tonight on the score sheet, Aaron.
Well, we've seen the last few games, the Windsor Express, they have a good lead, but sometimes they slack off. The last time they met, that wasn't the case. We'll switch over to the London Lightning. They want to win 4 games in a row. How can they adjust, and how can they accomplish that?
Well, they got to play their game. They got to be able to have good scoring right out of the gate. And as well, if they're going to draw these fouls, they got to make these free throws. Yes, they're in about the top half of the league and made free throws or an overall game, but for the percentage, when you look at that, they're 8th. They're 71% as a team. You cannot allow those free points to go away, especially if Windsor is letting you make that parade to the free throw line. You also got to be able to continue to hit your triples and be able to get your rebounds, something that is majorly a big thing. And you can't have London as your offense stall out. They've had time have their offense stall out at times, and they've had their bigger leads slowly close back up. If that closes back up and they allow it to close back up, Windsor might be able to take advantage. It's going to be interesting to see, though, what we have happen tonight here, Aaron. There's a lot of things coming into play, and I think Doug Herring Jr. might be the key to things as well if he gets things rolling because we're discussing this too. Players, when they were making a return from whatever situations, they seem to be red hot as soon as they come into the first game back.
Royce White, no question about it, double-double Wednesday night. Kyle Johnson on a shooting spree that night. Ryan Anderson from his hip injury went off like gangbusters, and we'll see if Doug Herring Jr. could continue that fold right here. Okay, so I'm on the call with Chris Croucher. We invite you to tune in. We always enjoy the pleasure of your company, so we'll see you in about a couple of minutes. The Windsor Express and the London Lightning, the good old 401 rivalry in the 2018 edition of this NBL Canada season. Tip-off coming up next right here on Notchstrom.tv. and Mike DeLuhy, the PA announcer for the London Lightning, introducing the hometown gold and black here. 401 rivalry, the Windsor Express and the London Lightning, live at Budweiser Gardens on Nordstrom.tv as we welcome you back here. Aaron Sanders and Chris Croucher with you. And Chris, we mentioned at the pre-show that the standings don't matter every time these two go at it, but it's just the intensity and everything else that comes with it. Every time these two teams meet, there's got to be a storyline, and tonight it's all about returning players and players making their first start, like in Trey Anderson for the Windsor Express.
Well, apologies to the teams out east there. Sorry, the mic didn't really pick up there. Apologies to the teams out east, but I think this is the marquee rivalry here in NBL Canada. Both teams, every time they face off, just really heated matches. There's enough guys who have been on either side of this rivalry that they know what's at stake here. They know that at some point in the playoffs they're going to meet, and they get that venom going early when they face off. And a guy like Trey Anderson, he's going to get introduced to this rivalry very quickly, especially with how hard we know these teams compete when they face each other.
And you know, the last time these two met was a couple of weeks ago. Shaq Keith struck it rich, shooting from threes as far as the Budweiser Gardens logo downstairs. But once again, you can't rely on confident shooting all the time. The tip between Stutz and Marcus Capers is controlled by the Lightning, and we are underway here in London, Ontario. Capers off the pick. Crowd's on its feet as per the ritual for every Lightning home game here. Anderson to the basket. Off the mark, and immediately the rebound is snatched by Devin White. And as we see, Maurice Jones down there, Rookie of the Year last year. Ball thrown out of bounds. It'll be Lightning ball. Capers to the returning Royce White, his first home game since that 3-game suspension. Put on a wonderful show Wednesday night. 3 by Kyle Johnson's no good. And here comes Keith with the board. Trey Anderson immediately going to work. Finds Stutz inside. Post work. Off the glass. No good. Rebound. Up. No good. Trey Anderson tried to fight for it, but the Lightning get it back. They are now on the move. Anderson, catch and shoot 3. That's what he does, and he connects.
And they needed that. That game was getting a little bit sloppy there. Just get some rhythm going. A huge shot from the veteran Anderson gets London on the board first.
And we'll see how the Windsor Express retaliate. Windsor coming off 8 days of rest after losing at home against Niagara 111-90. They want to redeem themselves here. Keith going to work. And it's a rebound. Here comes Williamson down the way. Capers all by himself.
And there's where London's most dangerous. Whenever they get in on a fast break there, if they've got numbers, you know it's coming to the rim. They're just so quick that there's not much you can do about it.
5-zip in favor of the Bolts. Quick spin move, offensive foul.
And we've seen that so often with these wing players on the London Lightning. Very good at getting in front of the player who's making that run to the basket there. Joel Friesen does it a lot. Williamson does it a lot. Anderson does it a lot. The 3 of them draw a ton of charges, and it's something you have to be aware of when you see them defending you.
And Devin White needs to be careful with those fouls because he leads the teams in fouls, and one of the main reasons why the Express are one of the worst players with fouls. Pick up, and here comes Devin White, as we mentioned, as he redeems himself from the plea for this play. Quick cut inside. The basket's good. Kyle Johnson. And the London Lightning showing no remorse for their 401 rivals as they lead by 5. Just underway here at Budweiser Gardens. Anderson, one-on-one against Anderson. Figure that. Keith, cross courts. Devin White misses the 3, and here comes Johnson. Capers all by himself gets it to go.
And that's one of those things Capers added to his game, and if I'm Windsor, I might be looking at a timeout soon if London keeps this up.
Yeah, the London Lightning has picked up on all spaces of the floor ever since getting back Royce White from the suspension, and Kyle Johnson, the name to least. Maurice Jones connects with a 3.
And they needed that. It's just a little bit of an answer, a little bit of a response.
Cross court, Royce White slam dunk.
And there's an answer right back. London with the great counterpunch.
Now these are two of the top teams when it comes to the fast break game. So we're going to see how much aggression they could rely on and how much ball rotation will become an impact of this game tonight.
You know, it's funny, that one three-pointer for Maurice Jones, a guy we're used to seeing put up some pretty decent scoring numbers. That one three-pointer alone gives him more points than he had in his last game against the Niagara River Lions. So even just seeing that's got to be an encouraging sign for the Express.
Maurice Jones, second leading scorer for the Express. Shot is missed by Keith. And once again, the Lightning on the pickup. Capers inside. Williamson with the slam.
You've got to get back on defense. This is a team that's going to run. You got to make sure you're able to keep up with them, and London gets another easy 2 points.
So now the Windsor Express with their backs behind the wall early on, trailing by 9. Anderson. Half spin move, falls away, got it.
And I like the idea of going with Anderson in the starting lineup. It's a guy London's not going to have a ton of tape on, a guy they're not very familiar with. Just throws a little bit of a wrinkle into the game plan.
Shots missed, and here comes Maurice Jones. Not going to slow things down. Speedy Demon, good pass inside to Keith. Butterfingers controls the ball, puts it up with an ice cream scoop and the reverse. Kyle Johnson, on the other hand, draws the foul. He's off to the line. So fast-paced game for both of these clubs as expected, but the Lightning striking it first, drawing first blood immediately.
But I do like the little fight back here. I mentioned Windsor might be looking for a timeout. Instead, Coach Bill Jones let him play, and that was the right call. They've done a good job of getting themselves back in here. Obviously, you don't like to see the shots go, but it could have been a lot worse, and rather than let London run away with it, rather than burning a timeout, he just let the starters play through it, and that was the right call.
And he let the play breathe. Kyle Johnson at the line, 87% from the charity stripe as he knocks down both free throws. Kirk Williams Jr. comes back in. I have an interesting factoid that I will share with you throughout the media timeout, and Chris, you could vouch in for me on this one, but we'll go back to the game. Keith, Stutz on the high pick, goes to the right side. Dribbles through, loses the ball, turnover. And the Windsor Express, that's something they really need to control because they lead the league in turnovers, and you don't want that to become the fatal outcome of the game. Kyle Johnson, yes.
I like Shaq Keith going to the floor trying to get that ball, but a little bad luck, and London ends up with 3 points. Again, we're seeing London off to one of the fastest starts we've seen from this team in quite a while.
19 points in 6 minutes hasn't even gone yet. We're just underway. Stutz fighting against Johnson. Double team inside. Anderson with the reverse. No good. That was a good play right there, but that one wouldn't fall for him. Johnson pumps, drives, outside. And that's going to be a foul, most likely on Trey Anderson.
Curious if they're going to call that shooting or on the floor. It looked like he tried to make a motion like he was shooting, but I think they're making the right call here on the floor.
Mm-hmm. So they'll get it from the sideline with 6:36 to go. 14 on the shot clock. Capers to White. Ball gets slapped away. Last touch by Keith. He'll stay the Lightning way. We'll have a substitution. And you know what? This is a guy we're talking about. Let's welcome back Doug Herring Jr. And we mentioned before, Chris, that this is a guy that has immediately adjusted to Keith Fassel's system for London.
Well, Doug Herring Jr., of course, an experienced player in NBL Canada, was on the London Lightning last year for the finals. Great play by Logan Stutz. But Doug Herring Jr., a guy who was on this team for the finals, also was an second-team All-Star as a member of the St. John Mill Rats. A guy who has a wealth of experience, and he brings something they didn't really have, and that's the ability to play that point guard position. They've kind of been rotating in and out some of their wing players. As we see Royce White take the shot here, that's not going to go. But now London can say they have that steady point guard, at least until Junior Cadogan's able to come back as well.
And you know, most of the nucleus from that Lightning Championship team is almost complete. Once again, it's those pieces of the puzzle they're missing that they want to get back. Keith, outside Jones. With the footwork, inside, misses the shot. Ball's kept alive by White. And Braylon Rayson, who's now in the game, that's a guy you really want to watch because if he shoots from anywhere in the parking lot, you might be in trouble. Jones in to Logan Stutz. Where miss. And Royce White taps it around, and London gets the ball back. Johnson off the pick, fires it inside, no good. And once again, the Express can't control the ball. Shaq Keith, you got to admire his hustle, but those turnovers is a crucial one. An immediate timeout, 19-9. So, folks, we were mentioning that we had an interesting factoid, and I don't know if it's me. It's got to be for the NBLC fans faithful who's been watching over the past few years. But I think within the last couple of years, Chris, when the Express and the Lightning play each other, you know there's got to be at least one player on either team that has played for both of these teams in the past. We mentioned Kevin Loisel back in the past, DeAndre Thomas. In addition to that, Kirk Williams Jr., Warren Ward. And there's one more that I can't put my finger on.
Ryan Anderson.
Ryan Anderson. See, there you go. Right off to it. So it's quite interesting to see these players come out and play against their former clubs, because it might be a homecoming to them or it might be a game of revenge. But
just off the top of my head, I think we'd have to go all the way back to like maybe Windsor's first season to say the last game that there was a London versus Windsor matchup in which one of those teams didn't feature someone who had played on the opposing team.
That's right.
And that's where the kind of heat in this rivalry never really goes away, because the guys who are on these teams, whichever side they're on, they remember the last time they played each other. They remember the last time when either they were an Express or a Lightning player, and they hated this opposing team.
Oh, boy, yes.
So, I mean, that's how that rivalry's built up, and it never really went away. So right now we got another new batch of guys who've experienced it last year. Mo Jones, Logan Stutz, Shaq Keith, Doug Herring. Now we've even got guys like Royce White who have experienced this rivalry before, and you see that heat build right back up again.
Royce White last year in the Central Division Finals really made an impact against the Windsor Express as they swept them. And the year before, it was Ryan Anderson who shot the Windsor Express right out of the building in that 6-game series. Herring with the footwork and the beauty.
And Doug Herring Jr., just a very smooth shooter. Whenever he gets that shot off, you almost assume it's going to go in and then get shocked when he misses. He's that accurate with it some days.
Do not adjust your sets, ladies and gentlemen. It is 21-9 with under 5 minutes to go. The London Lightning streaking to a very early lead. Rayson, ball slapped by Herring Jr., but he will be assessed with the foul. And only their first foul in the period. So you can see how conditioning and discipline is really factoring in to London's favor early on. White, Stutz, the make. And once again, for a former MVP, you got to expect all that low post play. Ball stripped away, and it's Williams Jr. who keeps it alive. Kirk gets slapped away by White. And you know what? Devin White is one of those players the Windsor Express need. They really lacked in defense when it comes to spacing out on specific plays, and Devin White seems to have the tools to do it early on.
He's just a very steady player. Last time they were here in London, White had a great game. And they'll be looking to have someone like him do that again. And he didn't do it through anything outstanding or eye-popping. He just did all the right things. And it helped the Windsor Express come back in that game, even though I don't believe they won.
Williams Jr. misses the three. His shot's missed inside. And once again, you know who knocking on the door and seizing the rebound is Devin White. Jones to the basket. And they're going to call a foul. It looked like a good block right there, Chris, but nonetheless, we're up here and they're down there, and that's the call they go for, and Maurice Jones is off to the line.
That's one of the things we got to remember when you hear a lot of people cry out when a ref makes a call. Sometimes they've got a better angle on it than we do, and you just kind of have to have faith that they're looking at the game the right way.
Maurice Jones off to the line. And you know the free throw percentage has been flip-flopping for him, 74% from the field as he knocks it down, 21-12. Quick strip for the ball, and a foul is called. And Devin White isn't very content about it at all, to say the least. So 2 quick fouls for him already, so he's going to have to sub out early in.
You know, I just said some nice things about the refs there. I'm not sure I like that one, though. I don't think Devin White really did anything wrong there.
He was scrambling for the ball.
I think London got away with one there.
No, he was scrambling for the ball. That's a good play. That's a good keen-on play So unfortunately, it did not go to his favor. 4:03 to go. Doug Herring already striking it rich. Off the right side. Got it. Anytime you get a shot off a guy that tall like Logan Stutz, that's a confidence booster because you know you could attack the basket with ease. Keith, 1-on-1 against Anderson, his former teammate. Fires the three, and it goes off. And here's Herring with the rebound. 10-point game for the Lightning. Herring Jr. Anderson. Shots missed over there. And now Keith inside, double team, scoops it up with the right hand, no good. Rebound by Herring Jr. Cross-court pass. Dougie. Got it to go.
Too easy. Excellent ball movement by the London Lightning. Just so pretty. And Doug Herring Jr., the guy who's got the hot hand right now, I like that extra pass by Kirk Williams Jr. to find him.
I have a feeling about him tonight, Chris, and it's all good. As they lead 13, under 3 minutes to go. Braylon Rayson. Stutz, open three, pumps, drives, fires it. Cross court inside. Oh, the footwork right there.
Nope.
No basket. He traveled too much.
Yeah, he was doing all the right things, and then just as he made that last pivot, the foot came up off the ground. Good call by the ref.
Brian Ekenkube. He's one of the difference makers for the London Lightning as well. Once again, you may think this is a new team, but you got another thing coming when it comes to the London Lightning. Rayson, catch and shoot. Three goes in and out like a fast food restaurant. Fight for the ball. Logan Stutz. Wow, manhandling that rebound. Jones, he might have an isolation game. He has it now. Fires the three. Off the mark. Gets his own rebound. Thanks to a strip. Underneath, no good. Last touch by the Lightning. The Windsor Express catches a lucky break. So 2:07 to go. Stutz all by himself for the three, and it's no good. Rayson. Stutz. Second chance. Got it.
I mean, after that many tries, you better get some points on the board.
Fight for the basket. Williams Jr. pokes off the backboard, and Braylon Rayson's the one to secure it. Fires the three. No good. The tip-in slam. Desmond Hubert.
Great little play there from Hubert. Almost didn't think he got enough air on that, but instead he just floated, stayed in midair there, and able to convert.
They were down 12, and now it's a 7-point game, 26-19 in favor of the London Lightning. Well, the London Lightning, I would assume they would have to get their conditioning in check because they got back-to-back home games. They got Windsor tonight. That's going to be a tough challenge, as always, for all you that know this rivalry over the past 6 years. And tomorrow they have to play against a tougher team, against the Niagara River Lions, who are still reeling after a very close loss in Kitchener-Waterloo this past Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough back-to-back for London, but the one advantage they have, of course, is the fact that they get to do it at home. No traveling involved, and that's always a blessing for some teams. Windsor themselves on a little bit of a tough stretch, lots of road trips for the Express right now, and I think it's going to be a good test for both of these teams. London, how can you do it? How much consistency can you bring? Because I think consistency has been an issue with this team. So this back-to-back is going to be a good test of if they can work that out or not. Looking at the Express, again, road trip. They got a team. They got a lot of new faces. How can they get that team to meld together and really work while not being able to practice at home?
Will it pay off for them? That is the question, because once again with these new guys, you hear a lot about them, you see a lot about them, but the question is, will they mend in to the system that Bill Jones has had over his time as the Express head coach, especially since day one? We'll find out. 13 on the shot clock. KWJ. Anderson fires a three. Got it. So Ryan Anderson right out of the gate once again, firing a three right after that timeout. And the lead is now double digits again. Anderson on the handoff. Rayson. Anthony Otley Jr. is in. Expect that guy to come out like gangbusters. Quick fake inside. Stutz slams it home.
Nice little play there by Logan Stutz. Just a little bit more agility than I think the defenders on the London Lightning were expecting.
That's difficult than most people would believe. That was so off balance, but he had a lot of open space on his left side. Stripped away by Anderson, and here comes the Express. They have numbers 4-on-2 inside. Otley Jr. Quick pass inside. Anderson up and in.
Again, Windsor doing a great job just hanging around here, and you know, this is something we've seen from Windsor in the past. They just keep hanging around. Then all of a sudden, last couple minutes, they've got themselves in position to win it.
And they're right back into this. Desmond Hewer tried to grab the rebound, but it was stripped by the Lightning, so the Express will get the ball with 30 seconds to go. And speaking of 30, Eric Parker comes into the game. Longtime crusader of the red and black, as Braylon Rayson gets it. Rayson averages almost 31 minutes a game. We'll see how he works out. Rayson fighting down. 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. 2 on the shot clock. Fires it from deep, and that is a air ball.
Great defense there by Marcus Capers. He really suffocated Rayson. Didn't really give him anywhere to go at any point in that. Rayson forced to just hold on to the ball, kill the clock, and eventually had to force up a really bad shot.
4 seconds to go. Herring Jr. fires it at will, makes a wish, got it! And you know what? You talk about efficiency at its best. Doug Herring Jr. connects right on cue.
Doug Herring Jr. is just off to a flying start in this game. I mean, are we surprised? This guy's been shooting the lights out for many years here in NBL Canada.
From the Harbor Station to Budweiser Gardens, we're at the end of one, 32-23. We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching the London Lightning here on Knockstrom.tv. Second quarter about to begin here on Knockstrom.tv. The Lightning 32 and the Express 23. Aaron Sanders with Chris Croucher. 2 other games going on down on the east side of the NBL of Canada. So Chris Croucher, take it away.
Well, just starting in the third quarter, you've got the Cape Breton Highlanders beating the Halifax Hurricanes 56-51. And then right now at halftime, another game out east, St. John Riptide up 51-40 over the Moncton Magic.
This Moncton Magic team is no joke. Either is the Cape Breton Highlanders, who has been riding off a good victory a couple of nights ago. So a win against the Halifax Hurricanes would do them a lot of wonders and confidence. And speaking of confidence, Trey Anderson scoops it from one hand to another.
Bill Jones really going to the bench early here. He's worked in a full rotation already for his lineup, giving a lot of guys a little bit of a different shot. Maybe see if he can trip London up with some different looks.
Royce one-on-one against Hubert. Fighting to the basket, scoops off the right hand. He draws the foul. So Royce White about to head to the line for the Lightning. And Royce, not good at the free throws this year, only 45% from the charity stripe. But once again, he makes up he makes it all up with his post presence. As he misses both free throws, Anderson on the follow-up rebound, goes inside to work, skips the hand and gets it to go.
Oh, man, what a play, Ryan Anderson.
That's Mr. Reliable. And Mr. Reliable harkens back to the days of the Ottawa Skyhawks here in the NBL Canada. Remember them?
I believe right now he's the only former Skyhawk still in the league. Might be one more.
Anderson on the pull-up. Off the top iron. And Anderson right on the call. Williamson fights through the traffic, draws a foul. So Garrett Williamson, another season NBL Canada veteran. Been with the London Lightning for a matter of years. And he really shows up, not only on occasion, but for all the time he is on the court. He was a crucial asset in the early rounds of the playoffs last year, as you remember, Chris, especially a tip-in buzzer beater against the Express in Game 2 of the Central Division Finals. He really shined in that series.
Well, Garrett Williamson, he's always been a guy who he doesn't really need to go and get his own points. He always does it within the offense, within the flow of the game. He can go out and score 30, but if you don't need him to do that, if you have other guys shooting, he's more than happy to play distributor as well.
And he does it with ease. Rayson trying to look for Stutz, gets denied, goes high-low for Stutz now. 1-on-1 against White. 7 on the shot clock. Fakes right, goes left, goes inside to Otley Jr. on the reverse. Barely touched the board. The Lightning, fast break, good passes inside. And a foul is called. It will be
I don't think they
ball.
called a foul. I think they're just saying out of bounds there.
Yep. My mistake. Maurice Jones coming back in. Remember, he has to stay well-conditioned because he plays all but 7 minutes on the court.
I just wanted to say I like the no call there from the ref. It was pretty much a 50-50. Windsor fans are going to hate it. London fans are going to hate it. But I think it was the right call to go with no call.
It's what you got to do. Some plays come and some plays go. As Anderson misses a 3, and Jones has a responsibility. 1-on-1 against Herring Jr. Now Rayson has it. Off the Parker pick. Didn't work for him. He shrugs it off. Gives it to Parker instead. 2 on the shot clock. Got to go to work. Whistle on the play. Eric Parker, the stats may say he does not produce much, but you know what? His presence on the court, regardless, opens up more for the Express as they have 13 seconds to deal with on the shot clock. Rayson at his hot spot, the corner. 6 on the shot clock, falls away. He's got it.
Braylon Rayson, just a very pure shooter. Tends to shoot maybe a bit more than you like some games, but when he's feeling it, there's no one you'd rather put the ball in the hands of.
Capers flying into gravity, slamming it home.
And speaking of guys who are just able to work within the offense, don't need to force their hand at all, Marcus Capers, another guy who produces just with what he's given. He doesn't need to force anything, but he's able to convert on the opportunities he does get.
Marcus Capers on the board. And the first half, Rayson yo-yos with the ball, gets the crossover dribble, gets the step on Anderson, fires a 3, misses it barely. And here comes Herring Jr., 3-on-2 opportunity. Royce all the way.
So smooth, and that's a center, an NBL center who was able to do that. Royce White just floating to the bucket.
If that was a candy bar, he'd be right in the middle, smooth as nougat right there. Quick 3 is no good. Herring again on the attack. They're at a mismatch. Anderson catch and shoot again. Circles around, but misses the drain. Region on the play here, off the ball. We're going to have a trio of substitutions here. So both of these clubs are really going at it. The Windsor Express, they're developing well on broken plays and second chance opportunities, but it's been the London Lightning's fast break and good ball rotation that's been controlling the game so far. 8:30 to go in the second quarter, 40-28. London Lightning up. Jones fires it at will, misses it. Logan tried to keep it alive, but nope. Capers snags it down.
Great box out by Anderson on that one.
Royce trying to go off the pick, goes to the left instead. Palms ball. Johnson in his face, no good. Keith grabs the re. Mojo shrugs off the screen, gives it the Stutz, cross courts over. Keith fires a three. It doesn't go. Loose ball. Anderson snags it for London. Throws it over the Capers. Darts it to Williamson. Up and no good. Tries to keep it alive. No good. It will be a conversation with the referees.
Yeah, I believe we had the ref on the sideline here calling London ball. They're going to confer and give it to London there.
It will be London ball. As the bench isn't happy with that call, but once again, the Lightning stayed shifty on that broken play, and that's what you got to do. Those broken plays may not be much, but it's the difference between getting a good high-low pass or just opening up for a good quality shot. Inbounds to Royce. Royce over to Anderson, fires a three again. Hits the front iron. Grayson works off the London defense. Grayson. The footwork. The pass. Stutz fakes it twice, goes inside the drive, slapped away by White. It will stay Windsor ball with 7 seconds to go on the shot clock.
I really like that swipe there from Royce White because this is going to put Windsor in some troubles. We've seen so far in this game, whenever Windsor gets into a short shot clock, that's when they've been struggling a bit on offense.
And that amounts to the turnovers, too. 4 on the shot clock. Jones fires it at will. Gets it to go. Maurice Jones makes a wish, and it comes true. Behind the back pass to Anderson. Fake pass, one-on-one against Jones. Over to Williamson.
So quick, and the way he's able to adjust his body to be able to get that lane and finish that shot. Beautiful play by Williamson.
The Express need answers, and they need it now. They haven't got it in the post yet. Good spin move, Otley Jr. with the scoop. Misses the drain. Here comes Anderson with the rebound. Pickup. Royce takes it home. And that prompts a Bill Jones timeout. That was a good sequence right there from start to finish for the London Lightning.
And that was the cause of a lot of different broken plays right there. So I like this timeout call. Get your guys settled down. Just say, hey, remember the game plan. Remember what we got to do here. We came in here with a set plan, knowing what we want to do this London Lightning team. We've fallen away from it. Let's get back. Let's calm down. Let's figure this out.
How about Doug Herring Jr.? When he doesn't have the ball, he still opens up plenty of opportunities for the London Lightning so far. He's already in double digits despite that.
Well, Doug Herring Jr. was a guy who not only was doing great scoring for the London Lightning, but he also led the team in assists, which is not insignificant on a team with Royce White. And he's a guy who's able to bring that versatility. He averaged about 18 points, 4 assists, or 5 assists, 4 rebounds during his time with the Mill Rats. And then last year he stepped up that assist game, broke a franchise record for assists in a game, and has been just a really great player for the London Lightning for as long as they've had him. It's a huge boon to this team to get a guy like that back.
And, you know, we mentioned at the top of the pre-show, well, JP mentioned that whoever comes back from the London Lightning this year, they had a terrific game. Like we mentioned, Royce White, after the 3-game suspension, goes inside the auditorium, strikes a double-double, 12-point victory for them. Kyle Johnson, back from the injury, he called that game against the St. John's Edge, and he really struck it rich with near 30 points. Will Doug Herring be another story? Will that be another successful story? We're going to have to find out, but he's striking it rich so far, along with the supporting cast. Ryan Anderson doing a good game so far, and Kyle Johnson finding those good shots. So you got a big 3 right there, and the backcourt that's been working wonders for the Lightning, and the Windsor Express haven't found answers outside defensively. So the Express will inbound it with 6:30 to go in the half. And if you're looking at the scoreboard, it's the Lightning, Ryan Anderson, against the Windsor Express, Kirk Williams Jr., because it's 44-31, right? So there you go. Grayson. Inside Stutz. Ryan Anderson puts his hand in the cookie jar, got caught with the foul. That's only the team's third foul in this go-round. So the inbounds pass, Otley Jr. to Jones. Fakes the three. Triple threat. Spins around. Fades away. Barely hits the front, and here comes Ryan Anderson. Another rebound. He's on pursuit of a double-double. Royce to the basket. Loses control, but he'll get bailed out. It'll be Lightning ball. Cabers will be the trigger man with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time to get a good quality shot. Royce attacking Devin White with all of his might, and he gets it to go.
And he's so quick with the footwork there. Devin White doing a pretty good job defending him, but Royce White just too good on that one.
Rayson from the corner, off the side. Monstrous rebound right there. Johnson fakes Otley Jr. out of his shoes. Anderson misses the three. Stutz with the rebound. Under 5:30 to go in the second quarter. Otley Jr. tries to go for a three. Misses it. Rayson! Oh, boy.
Tough landing.
Stutz up and in, and that does not look good. He just went into the air, tried to secure the rebound, and he landed awkwardly. Injury timeout. And, wow, this man is half rubber. He got up just like that.
We apologize for some technical difficulties right now. Rayson just got up. He's staying on the court. Looks like he'll be okay.
We'll continue the audio, so for the next little bit.
Pardon me, they're actually going to take Rayson off, but again, he's walking off on his own power.
The guy's half rubber, and I still can't believe that play. I mean, all heart, all hustle for him. But he'll take a breather right now. So, folks, we're going to continue with the audio. So, basically, London Lightning radio for just a couple of moments. We're going to rectify the situation. It'll be Lightning ball since they lost control of it. So, it's 46-33 with 5:10 to go. Capers. One-on-one against Otley Jr. Breaks free at the top. Goes inside. Williamson loses control. It'll be express ball. Good look for him, but it was an errant pass. So once again, we're going to continue with audio. We're going to try to rectify the situation as best we can, folks, if you bear with us. As Devin White tries to go inside to the hole. Fires it at will. On the rebound is Logan Stutz. Immediately puts the ball back in. Good pass inside. Kyle Johnson goes off and in. Maurice Jones has the ball. Jones over to White. White looking for a pass. He fires a three himself. Goes off, and is rebound by White. Once again, we are working on the situation. So we have a foul on the play. Score is 48-35 with 4:18 to go. Both of these teams have 3 fouls to give. Roy's off to the line, no good. As we mentioned, shooting 45% from the free throw line this season. It isn't his niche, but once again makes up big time. Rebound by Mojo. Rayson driving inside. Good look inside to Devin White. Couldn't finish. And that prompts to a White rebound. Johnson misses the attempt right there. Close, but no cigar.
That's the kind of play we've seen a million times from the London Lightning. It's rare we don't see that connection. That could have been a three-pointer there for Kyle Johnson.
So 3:52 to go. Jones on the floater, no good. Rebound Stutz. Fires it, count it, baby, and a foul. So Garrett Williamson picks up the foul. And folks, as we fix this situation, we're going to continue on the audio. We will depart at halftime, fix it up, and we'll be back for you in the third quarter. But as for now, we got radio powers that be right now. Capers up and in.
Beautiful play there for Marcus Capers. Had a bit of a tough lane to get through, but he's able to make the layup there.
Mojo with the footwork. Gets it to his pal, Braylon Rayson. White trying to look for the pass. He's on the left side, crosses over to the right side. Inside, Braylon Rayson all by himself, misses the three, circles the drain. Royce White captures the rebound. And here he is, dribbling past the timeline. Royce going off the Anderson pick, goes inside, goes outside to Anderson, gets the ball back. White trying to fight the 2-3 zone inside. Kyle Johnson will have a chance to go with it. One-on-one against Devin White. White, corner three, no, and Johnson skips it outside. Anderson with the rebound. They'll get a fresh 24. White trying to fight through the mismatch. Still at the top of the key, looking for options. 16 on the shot clock, 2:45 to go in this one. Inside, Johnson up and in, swooping it in.
Beautiful layup there by Kyle Johnson, but he's sitting on the floor right now. He took a heavy landing after the shot.
Gets up gingerly on the other end. Logan Stutz fires a three from the parking lot. Cuts the lead into 11. Garrett Williamson inside the wing. Crosses it over to Capers. Top three, no good. Rebound down by Shaq Keith. Then here comes Jones, passes the timeline. Wants Rayson, but Stutz comes inside. Rayson gets it anyway, goes to the corner, spins around, falls away for the shot. No good. Rebound by Devin White. Fight for the ball. White gets it back. 2 immediate rebounds for him. Tries to picks it up. He gets fouled.
Yeah, and I think that was one where Capers just knew he was dead to rights. So you got to take the foul on that one. Great play there by Devin White, though. He really fought down low. Ends up under the basket. Capers no choice but to put the arms over his arms.
And you know he fought that double-triple team really effectively. He has no further mission than to finish with authority. Now he's going to go off to the line. 2:03 to go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll break away at halftime as we try to solve the video issue here. We're continuing on the audio here on Knockstrom.tv. As we have any updates, we'll let you know.
One thing you will miss on video is Devin White and Braylon Rayson just had the worst high five I think I've ever seen.
Well, maybe that's good. Maybe that's good that they missed that.
They might be happy the video didn't show up for that one.
Oh no! Oh boy! And ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back live in about a couple of seconds, and now we're back on. So we will have the Knockstrom halftime. We weren't going to have it, but now we're going to have it. But anyway, we go back to live action. Williamson snags the foul. 52-43 if you're just tuning in here on Knockstrom.tv. Aaron Sanders and Chris Crouch are on the call. We'll leave. I'm going to leave in about 30 seconds. Garrett Williamson goes to the line, and once again, you can't say enough things about Garrett Williamson. I mean, a really good guy, really supportive cast, and he really comes in with the buckets in any given moment as he knocks down the free throw, 54-43. Eric Parker comes in. He's going to give Desmond Hubert a rest. Jones on the pull-up, no good. That has been the woes for the Windsor Express so far, the mid-range jumpers. White crosses over, whistle on the play. Royce White going to the line once again. This is his third time this evening. Makes the first free throw. Sizes up. Air ball.
Well, one good, one not so good on that one.
Well, we talk about Braylon Rayson and Devin White not connecting on the high five. That one, well, you've seen it, folks.
That's going to make him 1 for 6 on the night. It's 5 points he left on the floor.
Jones has the ball over the Stutz. Stutz wants Rayson to pick up on the screen. Stolen. Anderson, good scoop in and a good deflection right there by Jones. Keith, open floor, triple team, scoops with the right hand, no good. Here comes Herring Jr. on the drive. Capers. 12-point game right there.
Kickball Eric Parker there.
And I'm going to leave you to the dulcet tones of Chris Croucher, and I will see you folks at the Knoxstrom halftime.
Well, we're going to have Doug Herring Jr. here on the inbound, covered by Braylon Rayson. Royce. Goes inside to Ryan Anderson, makes the bucket, but they're going to say he pushed off on Mo Jones. That's going to go the other way. Windsor ball, minute 02 left, 55-43 for the Lightning. Windsor looking to get on a little bit of a run, see if they can go in the halftime with a bit of a closer score here. Kirk Williams Jr. checking into the game, Ryan Anderson to the bench. Jones running the offense. Rayson comes around the corner, inside to Stutz. He's backing down Royce White. Goes for the little baby hook, makes it over Royce White. Great shot, Logan Stutz. 47 seconds left. London coming back the other way. Doug Herring Jr. covered by Rayson. Kirk Williams Jr., sets a screen. Herring Jr. bullies his way to the basket. It's not going to go. They're going to call a foul there on Mo Jones. Windsor over the limit. That's going to send him to the line. Herring Jr. having a great night so far. 4 of 5 shooting for 10 points. Pardon me, it's going to be on the floor after all. Herring Jr. takes the ball. Unable to convert the three. Windsor the other way. Eric Parker on the rebound. Shaq Keith staring down Kirk Williams Jr. Former teammates going at it. Shaq Keith unable to convert there. It's going to be a foul there on Kirk Williams Jr. sending Keith to the line. London over the limit now. And that'll make it 55-47. Maurice Jones going to the bench. It's going to be Michael Achempong coming into the game. Herring Jr. setting up the offense. 17 seconds on the clock. Likely London's last shot. Herring Jr. trying to get past Achempong. Crosses over. They bring the double. Capers goes to the corner. Kirk Williams Jr. looking for a man. Unable to get the shot off in time, and that will end the half. After 2 quarters, the London Lightning lead the Windsor Express 55-52 or 47, pardon me. It looks like they're deciding if there's going to be some time on the clock. They're actually going to put a second on the clock. So Windsor with a chance to throw a last-second heave up. And Windsor's going to call a timeout, talk about this, see if they can set something up. Timeout, Windsor Express, setting up what will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, bear with us for just a moment. We'll explain to you what happened. The shot clock expired before the game clock, so they're going to put 1 second back on the clock. So as they do that, we'll just tell you what is followed. You've seen the score, 55-47, and when they complete this 1 second right here, JP and I will be back for you and get you over for the Knoxstrom halftime. So bear with us. We got 1 more second to squeeze in the first half, and we'll get back to you. But for now, let's go back to Chris Croucher to finish off this second half.
All right, back for the final shot of this half. Scoreboard preemptively saying third quarter, but we got 1 second here as Windsor extending their timeout just a bit. Express setting up for their final play. It's going to be Eric Parker on the inbound. Akempong doesn't have time, just heaves it. Not going to go, and that is going to end the half, 55-47 for the London Lightning. We're going to go down to the half court. Aaron Sanders, Justin Prince with the halftime show. Aaron, take it away.
All right, now we're at the notch from halftime. 8-point cushion for the London Lightning. And JP, I'm impressed with what the Windsor Express put up. I mean, what caused them to get this double-digit lead down to single digits at halftime?
Yeah, because I was going to say if this lead didn't come down, that Windsor's offense at all but stalled out. It was a 15-point lead at one point, of course, in the second quarter. So it's a big-time effort to finally get this thing back closed up once again, continue this offense going, and including that one last shot with 1.1 seconds to go. So they just got to keep it going at this point, I think, because, as you mentioned, the offense finally starting to come around a little bit, but they're still shooting 33%, Aaron. So they got to keep up in some way, shape, or form, even if the 14 extra shots, or else they're going to be left in the dust.
Well, they need to find other ways to shoot good quality shots instead of making a wish from beyond the arc. That's one of their problems. And number two, they're not trying hard down the mid-post game, because we've seen in the mid-range they couldn't shoot anywhere from there, but when they got it inside, they were able to make wonders. They were able to go to the line at will, and that's one of their confidence boosters right there, the fact that they're trying real hard to attack the basket.
Yeah, Windsor's 26 of 47 points coming inside the paint, of course, so they're able to score inside. From the three-pointers, which has been their main vice, that's the main problem, I think. They're 4 of 21, so they got to find a way to get more shots inside instead on the outside, or else they're going to get themselves blown out at this point. I think that's going to be one of the main things. If I'm Coach Jones, you're vocalizing right now as you're stepping in. Stop shooting as many outside shots. It's not working. Get the shots inside the paint. And that's what's been working for you for parts of the season. Get it back to going once again if you're Windsor.
Braylon Rayson had quite a tumble right there about a few minutes ago. Hopefully he's all right, because he's one of the confident shooters the Windsor Express have from all areas right there. So let's hope he's all right.
Yeah, that was a big tumble as well, where he was going for that layup, fell on his back, hit his back of his head. So hopefully he is okay, because that's a situation where you can end up with a mild concussion, possibly a full-on concussion. So that's something where I think Windsor, would definitely be taken seriously if it did become a situation. I hope that's something the trained staff is checking out. We're going to see if he comes back in that second half, and if he does, how much of an impact he is overall, because that could be something that can affect him for as short as a week, as long as maybe a next season.
On the other hand, I think we called it right on the button in the pre-game show. We've seen a lot of people come back on the London Lightning in their first game. They really go at it and have a big game. Doug Herring Jr. is no exception from this at all.
Yeah, Doug Herring Jr., 10 points so far right now on scoring, 4 rebounds. So 4 of 6 shooting right now. For a guy that's coming back into his first game with the London Lightning, he's been phenomenal. He got that standing ovation from the crowd, basically, as was subbed in, or the round of applause, I should say. And he's proven that round of applause was deserved, I should say. Keith Vassell said he wanted to keep him in if he kept on scoring. Well, he's keeping on scoring. He's playing the best of his ability. This is exactly what you need if you're London again, especially with Kyle Johnson, even with him leading scoring. When Kyle Johnson's out, Doug Herring's in. So you got a light switch where it's always on or it's always on. And that's the way it's going right now for this offense right now with Doug Herring Jr. And he's showing that tonight so far. Yeah, they are, that's for sure, because you're seeing a lot of chances, second chances, as you mentioned, continuing to go on. Second chance points, 13 for Windsor, 6 for London. That's just with those second chance points alone. So they've been able to get those chances going and going on the misses, on the offensive rebounds, and that's exactly what you need to do as a team. You have to get those points on those second chances, or else you're going to fall behind as a team. And Windsor has been especially keeping themselves in this game in part because of those second chance points. They just got to keep it on going, Aaron.
Around the league, we have two good games going on. Cape Breton's over at Scotiabank Center, and the Moncton Magic trying to fight off the St. John Riptide. What's going on between those two games?
Yes, that is a good point, because the scores right now at about 7 minutes to go. Cape Breton, they're in a shootout with Halifax. We've seen this a lot of times this season between these two teams. 85-84. Cape Breton over Halifax right now. Meanwhile, St. John and Moncton, it is 81-74. St. John Riptide. So they're playing well. So some pretty intense action in the fourth quarter for sure in the Atlantic Division from some very good teams from that division, so to speak, so far.
Earlier this week, Cape Breton beat St. John, and what everybody's saying, a well-deserved victory. Is this the type of confidence the Cape Breton Highlanders need to finally get it in gear and try to become an upsetting force in the Atlantic Division?
Yes, they do. This is, I think, where they're going to start getting things clicking if the confidence was working together. This is where you set up the confidence, and they're doing exactly that. They just got to keep it growing, Aaron, because if they end up not being able to keep this again, because they've had a lot of close games, Cape Breton, this season, if they can start winning these close games in a stretch in a row, then that confidence is going to go from, okay, can we keep the lead, to, okay, we're definitely going to be able to keep this lead. We just got to make sure we do not make the mistakes we have to make in the first part of the season. This is where confidence is made, and this is where it's going to be happening starting tonight.
And the Moncton Magic, they had a couple of close losses right there. What has to gel for this squad in order for them to become once again a top crucial team in the Atlantic Division?
For things to gel together, one, you need a good system, which they have the good system. But two, you also have to make sure you get your chemistry as a team together, because they are still trying to, as seen with some of these transactions, for example, bringing in Brent Jennings most recently, they're looking to add those extra pieces right now. And I think right now, it kind of helps when you have a player, say on Facebook, looking for a post-move player, a big man who can do post moves. It's obvious that the Magic might be looking for somebody that's a big man that can do post moves. If you can get that to your system, and I think that's exactly what they're looking for, then their system might end up to be what you want and what you expect to get those winning ways, as you mentioned. So if you bring in someone like, say, a Chris Commons from Finland, back from Finland, I should say, or somebody else, you got a good squad.
Well, walk the walk and talk the talk. If anybody could do both of it, then, that might be the pieces of the puzzle the Moncton Magic needs. Second half tips, Windsor Express, first of all, they were down by as much as 12, and now they cut it down to single digits. What do they have to do to corral back in here and probably upset the London Lightning, who's been clicking on all cylinders since getting their returning players?
Well, the obvious answer is stop chucking up as many threes. 421, that's got to be fixed and fast if you're going to even attempt those outside shots. If you're not confident, you're going to not make them. So they got to go more inside of the paint. They got to drive, set possibly some pick and rolls, maybe some pick and fades, try and fake out a pick and roll and pass it to the outside to a Maurice Jones or to maybe Devin White if he gets some comfortability together, or of course a Shaquille Keith. Do something like that to mix up your offense. Defensive side, they got to make sure that they got to keep up, because we've seen Windsor have a lot of good defensive plays with, especially in the outside perimeter on the corner when London gets a screen, tries to drive to the middle of the paint. They got to keep that up. Try and get some steals and not get fouls, because we've seen Trey Anderson get a foul from that. We've seen Devin White up to 2 fouls in the first quarter from playing like that defense. They got to get that intensity without the whistles. They got to keep it up and make sure they do it, especially in the paint, because there's been a lot of alley-oop plays and a lot of slam dunks. They can't keep it going on the defensive side. And third, I think right now you just got to keep things rolling for Windsor, essentially, with the momentum you're riding on from that second quarter. Find a way to capitalize it and maybe use up a bit more of your bench if you're Coach Jones. So we're going to see what they do, Aaron.
Hats off to Trey Anderson for a guy that's starting his first game. He's really doing it good and really doing that spot justice. For Keith Vassell's London Lightning, how do you boost up that confidence and try to expand this lead again?
To expand this lead again, I think right now you got to take advantage from the get-go, the tempo, because if they can stretch out the defense for Windsor and go on the transition offense, they'll be able to drive inside, get the slam dunk or the layup, or possibly draw some contact, maybe set up an outside perimeter three, because that's something that Keith Vassell, on that first quarter buzzer beater, mind you, he was screaming, be aware, look at the clock. Then Doug Herring Jr. hit the three and got him up to 10 points. So they got to keep up that kind of awareness as well on the offensive end. Defensive side, they got to make sure they shut down that inside play, because Windsor, you know for a fact, if they go for a better strategy, they're going to try and go inside. They probably noticed that advantage inside for the way their shots have been falling. They're going to probably go more inside. So London will probably be going more for the block, maybe some double teams on the perimeter for the rotations, maybe a 3-2 zone. Force Windsor to attempt the three-pointers and make them. Because if Windsor misses them, they're going to be in trouble. And third, I think at this point, feed the ball to guys like Doug Carey and Royce White, because you're going to keep up this offense going. And make sure you give it to a confident Kyle Johnson, because Kyle Johnson, obviously, in the shoot-around right in front of us, is in a positive mood with his 11 points.
This is going to be an interesting second half. It's a shame one of these teams have to lose it, but you know what? When it comes to this 401 rivalry over again, you better expect a game that goes down to the wire, and this could be it. 55-47 at the half. London Lightning with the 8-point edge. We're going to pause here, but when we come back, we'll be on the call for the second half, and we'll see you guys down courtside after the game for the Knockstrom postgame. Stick around with us. You're watching the London Lightning on Knockstrom.tv. Welcome back to Budweiser Gardens. Set 8-point game for the Lightning in what has been an incredible game so far.
Capers.
Ryan Anderson having a good game so far as well. A little bit out of breath, but 100-meter dash from down here to up here really gets to you. But once again, 8-point edge for the Lightning. So Shaq Keith going to the line to shoot 2 and makes the first free throw. And he makes the second one. One of the vices for Shaq Keith, Chris, is his ability to fire shots at will. But he hasn't been able to knock them down. But he warms up to the occasion as Kyle Johnson makes the shot.
Keith. That's the three-point line. Breaking down Marcus Capers. Goes straight to the rim. Capers down. And that's going to be a turnover. I think the refs are going to talk about it, and that's going to be London Lightning ball. Capers getting ready with the inbound. Looks like it's going to go to White. White sets up the offense. Lines up on Shaq Keith, dishes to Anderson, deep three-pointer, and it's good. Ryan Anderson, a huge play for the London Lightning to get them off and scoring here in the third quarter.
Thank you for covering for me, Chris. We had to take care of a situation over behind the scenes, but we rectified the situation, and now we're back in full motion as Maurice Jones misses the 3. Quick rebound, Devin White. Fight for the ball is recovered. Here comes Capers down to an alley-oop. Garrett Williamson, one way or another, gets that shot to go.
And look at the bunnies on Garrett Williamson getting up for that ball. That was way above the rim. Great job by the Canadian.
Is it the shoes? We'll find out. Hard attack to the basket by Jones. They won't have any of it. Royce almost took it home, but collecting the foul is Anderson. And
you could argue that's a flagrant there. He didn't even make an attempt at the ball there. He just swatted right at Royce White.
I mean, I understand that you're trying to deny the open shot or try to foul on that situation. But once again, you got to be careful on how you approach the situation.
Well, you got to make a play on the ball. I understand it's an open break, make him earn it at the line, but you can't just hit him anywhere. You have to still try to make a play on the ball.
No, you got to resist that aggression right there, and that's what the referees are going to consider. It looks to be an unsportsmanlike foul. And once again, if they decide it, no question about it. So that's one thing about the rules in the NBLC, that you could rule it either as an unsportsmanlike foul or a common foul, but no question about it, it looked to be the latter.
I don't know. I thought that could be an unsporting foul right there. I didn't see any attempt at the ball.
Exactly. So we'll listen in to see what that foul is all about. So they're going to label it as a common foul. No technicals applied here. Keith Vassell still talking to the referee, but you know what? I give Keith Vassell the benefit of the doubt. I mentioned at the beginning of the season, one of the most disciplined coaches you will ever meet on the court throughout the whole time, and we've seen him be very vocal on Wednesday, and that really charged the Lightning on to a 12-point victory. Especially with Royce White being back, you need that type of leadership when you have to have big shoes to fill, and he's been doing it justice so far this year. So Anderson, 1-on-1 against Johnson. Stutz goes inside, 1-on-1 against Royce, falls away, no good. Rebound by Johnson as he springs for that board. Johnson on the release.
Big three-pointer there, and you don't want to wake up this London Lightning team. They tend to get a little up for the action whenever there's a little bit of physical play. It ignites something in this team.
Talk about igniting. Marcus Capers almost went for the steal on the pull-up. Trey Anderson. Yeah, that is Trey Anderson on the pull-up. So once again, broken plays have been working for the Express as they try to go for the ball. Kyle Johnson, count it, baby, and a foul.
Great play by Kyle Johnson. He's flexing because he just made a strong man move right to the rim there. Unable to stop him and able to convert. That's going to be potentially another three-point play from Kyle Johnson after that three earlier.
And that's what he brings to the arsenal that is known as the London Lightning, the ability to finish strong and shoot with confidence as well. And, you know, that boosted up their points per game, too, by like 4 or 5 points since he returned, and he completes the three-point play. 3 minutes gone here in the second half. Stutz fakes on the three, fires the three, misses it. A little too much hesitation right there from beyond the arc.
White wants the ball.
Will he get it? That is the question. Nope. Now he does. Goes inside. That was an easy shot. The Windsor Express, they completely let up inside, and that's what Bill Jones is going to talk about as it's a 20-point lead against the London Lightning. 71-51, and once again, if you talk about teams that come out right of the gate, the London Lightning has to be among that discussion because they know how to establish themselves on the fast break game, and you've seen a good ball high Q from passing on a high or low pass, and Royce White was a good recipient of that.
Well, I mean, if there's any guy on the London Lightning you want to try and find, Royce White there. He definitely wanted the 2 points. He was feeling it there. He was calling for the ball. He got it, able to convert. And, you know, it's interesting with these two teams because we've seen this show before. We've seen the Windsor Express get down by a ton, but always able to hang around, claw themselves back, and then maybe last 3 minutes, that's when they really put the pressure on. We've seen them almost steal victories that way. Is this going to be another one? I think if you're London, this is a good test. This is where you want to see London really just hammer down the gas pedal, really keep this up, put the pressure on the Windsor Express. Don't let them back in the game. See if you can get that rubber band to snap.
How many times do we have to mention what happened during the preseason? Windsor Express, they were on the other end of it. They had a nice lead, but then the London Lightning came back. But now we might have another game that's similar to that, but now they find themselves in a 20-point hole. And JP and I mentioned this at the halftime that they really have to be more confident with their shots. If they realize that they cannot get those shots from beyond the arc, they really have to skip it more inside. So if there's one person that really needs to take that to heart, it would have to be Shaq Keith, because if he attacks more, that brings up the efficient rate for the Windsor Express. Windsor Express out of the timeout. They get the ball, and Maurice Jones is right at the corner. Inside to Stutz. Off the right hand. Count it. And a foul.
That's pretty classic Logan Stutz right there, directly under the basket. But he's so good in that place. Anytime he's in that little restricted area there, he's almost always able to convert. He's really good at adjusting for contact and making the right moves to get himself that shot. He's going to go to the line here to make it a three-point play.
And he converts the three-point play right there. It's 71-54 with 8:30 to go in the third quarter. Glad that you're with us here on Notchstrom.tv, live from Budweiser Gardens in London, Ontario. Aaron Sanders and Chris Croucher on the call. Royce, pump fakes to the basket.
Devin White, good defense there, but Royce White just too much to handle going to the rim.
Keith, right on cue with the reverse. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Beautiful little play by Shaq Keith, and it's plays like those that they always make and get themselves back in games with.
Capers switches his shot in the air, still got it to go. Keith open in the post, but instead Maurice Jones knocks down a three.
We're seeing some counter-punch right here, and Mo Jones, a huge three-pointer, keeping Windsor in the game. Logan Stutz going to foul Garrett Williamson on the way to the rim, though.
You have no choice but to. When a guy's attacking the basket, you got to find some way to detract him into finishing that shot. Logan Stutz, right decision, but the wrong time. He picks up the foul, and Garrett Williamson will head off to the line. Yes, go ahead.
I'm actually okay with Logan Stutz taking that foul, though. He had plenty to give, And, I mean, it was going to be a free 2 points for Garrett Williamson either way. Why not make him earn it at the line? You have the foul to give up. I'm okay with that foul there. Logan Stutz, by the way, quietly at 23 points in this game.
And you know what? That's how he averages that near double-double a game, because a lot of people would shy away from mentioning him because of the sharpshooters like Race and Keith, Jones, and hard aggression from White. But he's been the MVP. He knows how to do it, and he's been doing it his way, and that's how he's been succeeding.
And speaking to that double-double, he's also leading the game in rebounds with 7 already. And again, that foul is only his second, so he's been playing that chippy game on the inside without getting himself into any foul trouble, and that's going to pay dividends as the game goes on.
Stutz, cross courts, White gets it to go for the 3.
And again, we talked about Windsor always able to just creep on back into games, and here we go. We're seeing it again. London could really use a run here.
We are in for a rodeo right here. 7:09 to go. Capers off the screen, stops, and Williamson fires a 3 of his own, 80-62.
And Williamson, not really a noted three-point shooter, but he does have that range on the odd occasion that he's wide open, so you can't completely leave him open.
Jones with the footwork misses the shot. Anderson with the rebound. Here comes White. Overway to Capers, detracted away by Keith, and here comes the Express on the fast break. All the way, Shaq Keith from point A to point B. Here's Williamson. No good. Rebound by Stutz. He's flirting with the double-double. Jones all over. Good pass inside. Devin White with the recipient pass.
Just a pretty play from the reigning Rookie of the Year there. Maurice Jones, an electric talent for the Windsor Express.
He's lighting it up right now as it's a 14-point edge for London. Royce going inside to Williamson. Again connects.
They're really trying to get Williamson going to the rim, see if he can draw some fouls there. Williamson doing his part, converting on the buckets, but the fouls haven't come yet.
Rayson outside to Keith. He's at his spot where he's comfortable, but now he's going to have to think of something else. He does. Goes inside against Royce. Loses control. Over to Rayson. Rayson doesn't have enough real estate. 5 on the shot clock. Fighting for the ball, and he loses control. White on the reception. Williamson. Here comes the jam.
Oh, and Devin White just about took out the front row of chairs there. Almost took out Vito Frigia.
He would have opened up some real estate right there, but once again, Devin White's plans have foiled as Garrett Williamson goes for the slam. Stutz on the other end. Foul on the play, and that's going to be on Royce White. So 84-66 is the score. Desmond Hubert's going to come back in as Braylon Rayson stays around. But you know what? That just adds up a lot of depth in the front court for the Windsor Express. This might be the right decision for them. We're going to see Garrett Williamson come out too. The inbounds pass goes to Stutz. He's at the 3. So is Jones. Fires it unprotected. No good. So this has been an interesting third quarter as the Kyle Johnson show doesn't go for the 3. Under 5 minutes to go. Keith, the floater, no good. And here comes Herring Jr. Inside, Capers. Are you not surprised that he was wide open for that?
Well, Capers is one of those guys, because he's not necessarily the 30-point guy you think of, you kind of forget about him a bit on offense. But as we mentioned earlier in the game, he's always capable of putting up those points. It's an egregious error to leave him that open.
It's like that old quote, silent but deadly. Stutz misses the 3. And that's another rebound from the guy that just knocked on the door, Marcus Capers. Royce trying to outgrow Stutz. And he does.
Such picture-perfect footwork there from Royce White. How do you stop that when you have a guy who's that powerful and able to put that much finesse into his post moves?
And you know, big guys seem to forget that in this modern age of basketball because footwork is most important when it comes to this. Rayson getting flustered.
Doug Herring Jr. read that play perfectly, getting ready to defend. Mo Jones, though, too good on the shot.
He was right on cue for that. That's a good 3 for Maurice Jones. But yes, once again, Doug Herring Jr., one of those silent assassins on defense.
That was just a heads-up play. He read the play beautifully.
Royce to the basket.
Again, that much power and that much finesse in one package is absolutely ridiculous and impossible to handle.
Jones again connects the 3. That's back-to-back 3s for Maurice Jones as the Express try to light it back up. Good high pick right there for Doug Herring Jr. All credit to Royce White, who now has the ball. Cross court over to Johnson. Misses the 3. Kept alive. Johnson tries again. Got it. And looks at the crowd saying, yes, this is my game.
Get some dap from Julian Boyd on the sideline there, too. If Kyle Johnson misses 1, you're lucky. If you give him 2 shots, he's going to make it.
People are still doing the dab these days?
Dab,
Anyhow.
not the dab. Not the dab.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was thinking right there. But anyhow, we go back to this game. Kyle Johnson misses it. He felt the hot hand. Oh, that's KWJ, rather. Racing on the other end for 3. Gets it to go. Braylon Racing. So that's back-to-back-to-back 3s for the Windsor Express so far.
And again, just always hanging around this Express team. They never go away.
Royce, one-on-one against Hubert. Detracts to Johnson. That's a foul if I see one. But anyhow, Royce gets the ball back. Johnson looks to redeem himself. Euro step. Goes inside. Count it. And a foul.
Kyle Johnson will not be denied. A huge play from the London wing as he's just going to the rim and no one can stop him, whether it's inside, whether it's the three-point line. Kyle Johnson's having himself a night.
Johnson got dragged a few seconds ago, fell down on the floor. He gave it to White, and the ability for him to persevere and stay around inside the post to finish it off, it just shows how capable he is to redeem himself, go for those second chance opportunities, and thus forth, he's off to the line. So impressive display by Kyle Johnson so far. Impressive display by the Lightning bench this evening. And Johnson completes the and one. It's 96-75. Jones breaks through. Parker on the pull-up. Got it. Once again, Eric Parker not known for firing most of those shots, but he makes his presence known by moving around when he's on the court. Royce one-on-one against Hubert. Tries to back him down. And the spin move again works for Royce White. The footwork applied by him.
Now I'm curious, is that no basket? Are they saying that was on the floor?
Yeah, they said it was no basket. The whistle blew before the shot.
Just based on that shot, though, I thought that ought to be goaltending then. Even if the whistle occurred before, if he took the shot, that's a goaltend.
In most situations, that is true. But unfortunately, it didn't go that way. It could have gone either way.
You know, knowing our angle, it could have been very wide right, and I just don't see that.
Trust me, you never know, man. You think we would know a lot of the spaces up here, but once again, the referees are one step ahead of us. Racing, triple teamed, loses control of the ball, gets the ball back, no good. Devin White snags the board, puts it up, no good, but he'll go to the line. Admirable effort by him on that play.
And again, Devin White, one of those guys who just keeps battling. He's never going to give up on a ball. You have to out-hustle him, and it's very hard to do.
And you know, regardless of the outcome of this game, he's got my player of the game candidate right there because he picks up rebounds so effortlessly. And on the other hand, Logan Stutz leading with 23 points. He is one rebound away from his usual double-double. So you talk about silent assassins. We got 2 of them on the Windsor Express, Logan Stutz and Devin White. And then on the other end, Garrett Williamsons and Marcus Capers have been the silent assassins for them. But all the same, Kyle Johnson leads with 25 points for them.
Also, Royce White, 1 assist away from a double-double.
Well, we're going to see how this last 109 unfolds here. Herring goes all the way to the basket, gets it to go.
Man.
This is a team full of acrobats, are they not? Impressive display. Under a minute to go. Parker one-on-one against White. Spins around, falls away, and he gets it to go.
Great play there from Eric Parker. Guy you usually don't see call his own number like that.
4 points for him. As Royce, double teamed and all, draws the contact. And early on, even before the fourth quarter starts, Chris, 100 points for the London Lightning, something that I believe they haven't accomplished yet in the season.
Well, I mean, this is kind of uncharacteristic for the Windsor Express. Usually a team that locks things down defensively. It's usually a scrap to get to 100 points, not the walk up to the hoop that it has been for London so far.
No, absolutely. But once again, the Windsor Express, they average around 105 points per game, but their vice is they allow 106 points a game. So, unfortunately, they allowed the London Lightning to drop 102 points even before the third quarter is gone. So, they have a lot of things to pick up on if they want to make this a comeback. We're down to 23 seconds. And a quick release three, Anthony Otley Jr.
Still hanging around. There's a whole quarter to play still.
18-point game for them. Shot clock irrelevant right now. Final 10 seconds. And who else to have the ball in the dying seconds of the quarter than Doug Herring Jr. Goes to work by himself. Gets that good look inside.
They're going to call a charge there, Doug Herring Jr.
And they're not going to count the basket on that. A lot of movement around by the Lightning on that play, but a little too much aggression right there. 2.5 seconds to go. Devin makes a wish, and it goes off the backboard. So the story, 102-84. London Lightning have the lead. The Windsor Express hangs on. We'll have the fourth quarter to you when we return to the Budweiser Gardens in just a moment. Fourth quarter action here at Budweiser Gardens, 102-84 here on Knoxroom.tv. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Sanders and Chris Croucher on the call. London Lightning still opening up a big wound for the Windsor Express to sew in, but they are not out of the woods yet. Devin White fights for the ball. No shot on the play. It looks like a foul on Doug Herring Jr., and for a guy that's coming back after all that time over, Doug Herring Jr. is really turning the heat up for the London Lightning.
Well, you had to expect it. Again, a key contributor on last year's championship team and a guy who, you know, on almost any other team than the London Lightning would be a starter. And I think he really adapted well to playing with all the different talent on the Lightning. Again, he was a guy who used to shoot first. Braylon Rayson's hurt.
Yeah, he's down again. That's not good, and that might lower the shooting confidence for the Windsor Express. He's still down, and they finally stopped the play. So Braylon Rayson's having a tough bounce tonight, but he's really giving his all, so he's going to take a moment to compose himself as the London Lightning trainers assist to him. And once again, this is not good. Braylon Rayson, his first year in NBL Canada, really stuck out among all the other players in the NBLC. Played all 9 games, started in 6 of them, averages around 31 points per game as he gets up. Still a little shaken up.
Well, he's been basically a little microwave off the bench. He's a guy who comes out and heats up quick. And this would be a big loss for the Windsor Express. They're going to take him right to the bench, I think.
You know what? The risk of being a shield here, Chris, now you really have to rely on more confident shooting and more quick decisions if you're the Windsor Express. But you really need to pay attention to the turnovers, too, because the way this game is going, both of these clubs are really taking advantage of the broken plays.
Some technical difficulties here.
And we're back on, just like that. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Ontley Jr. getting flustered, and it's turnover. Herring Jr. on the steal. And the follow-through is good. Kirk Williams Jr. very quiet tonight, but that was a good play on him. Jones, once again on the footwork, goes off the Parker pick. Goes through 2 defenders. White at the corner, inside Parker. Misses the shot. He whiffed that one. Second chance, gets it to go. He shut my mouth immediately right before I opened it up again. So now you see the Lightning, half of their second string being applied. Ball stripped away out of bounds. It'll stay London's ball. So we're going to see how this plays out. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Anderson guarded by Parker. By Anderson, rather. Martin Dixon Green gets Parker off his feet.
Great pump fake. Just faked Eric Parker right the heck out of here.
Right out of there. 20-point game for the Lightning. Mojo misses the 3, and Williams Jr., a monstrous rebound right there. Good pass inside. Johanny Dallenberg. Completely overlooked in the NBLC, ask me. The guy has it all. Mojo fires a 3 this time, and that was from the corner.
And they need to get Jones going. He's had a very rough shooting night. That makes it 6 of 19 for him.
Now he's got a bigger responsibility since Rayson is out. Shot is missed. Back down is Mojo. Snags the rebound. Gets the footwork. Misses the J. Rebound by Anderson. Full strength for the Lightning. Anderson. Ice cream pass to Dixon Green. Misses the 3. Eric Parker on the board. Almost 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. 108-89. Good pull up Jay. Trey Anderson once again. Once again for a guy that's starting in his first game, Trey Anderson has delivered time and again. Anderson, good pass. Dallenberg gets flustered, gets the foul.
No, they're going to call the travel there. Up and down.
I'm sure that's a play that he wanted back. He was he was ready to get inside and attack the basket, but one step too many.
A little too much jostling between Eric Parker and Doug Herring. I think Herring's going to get the foul there. We'll call that a 50-50 call.
So if there's one thing this rivalry is known for, is the clutch moments. We've seen the last few games when the Express played the Lightning, excluding the postseason, that has gone down to the wire. But this year, it's a different story. Quick poke out of bounds. It will stay Express ball with 17 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, I mean, even if we do talk postseason, you've got that buzzer beater tip in from Garrett Williamson, Game 2 of the playoffs last year.
What a perfect way to cap off Mother's Day. That's when it happened. 8 on the shot clock. Anderson going to work between two defenders. Scoops it in, count it, and a foul. Trey Anderson once again taking this starting role very seriously, and now he's really striking it rich.
You know, Anderson's had a very effective game. He hasn't been asked to do a ton. He hasn't even played a ton of minutes, but he's done well with what he's been given. And he's a guy who hasn't been forcing any of his shots. He's just taking the opportunities where he can get them and been one of the actual effective Windsor Express players on offense.
It is still a 14-point game. Real run in, and the tip is no good. Now that ball goes out of bounds, and folks, I'm going to explain it time and time again about the goaltending rule here at the NBLC. Even if the ball is still around on the rim, you could still touch it, along with other sub-rules that apply to that too, but we had to get that out of the way. 8:12 to go, 108-94. Anderson, double team, loses control of the ball, fights for control. Three-pointers off. Ryan Anderson again with the rebound. Williamson, cross court, KWJ. Boy, flat. Flatter than the hairdo that I have right now, but nonetheless, the Express get the ball back. It'll be Lightning ball.
But again, the Express just not going away. This is not a team you want to let hang around. Still plenty of time. We've seen this a million times whenever these two teams have faced, that Windsor tends to go on a run at the end of the game just to make things a little scary. I don't think London should feel safe with this lead at all right now.
Whoa, Johanni Dallenberg with authority. And once again, the Windsor Express did not have any answers down there, despite their presence. 16-point game for the Bolts. Stutz double-teamed. Mojo gets footwork to get out of the way. 5 on the shot clock. Quick pass inside. Stutz off the right hand, no good, and the tip-in is good. Anthony Otley Jr. once again coming in, and that's where he does most damage, those second-chance opportunities. Anderson off the pick, fires a 3. That was beautiful. Send it home.
And I love this from the London Lightning, keeping their feet on the gas, making sure that the Windsor Express have no room to breathe. Don't let them have that comeback. Extend that lead. Get that 20-point gap if you can, because that's where you can start to feel safe.
Otley Jr. off the fake between 4 defenders. That's a walk.
I think he got caught up there trying to avoid the charge there. Had no choice but to either step or crash into someone.
Basketball is a game of reaction. But once again, it's a game of keeping a great vision. But he didn't apply any of that as expected. Quick substitution for the Windsor Express. So the Lightning get the ball back. 113-96. 6:30 to go. Royce all by himself, loses control, and Mike Lucier is into the game for the first time, and so is Atchimpong. Atchimpong to the basket. That was an unorthodox shot, but once again, he kissed the glass goodnight and got the shot to go. So, Chris, you hit it right on the button. This Windsor Express squad isn't going away. Then it's quite opposite of what we see from the London Lightning. They don't go away in the second half. Three is missed. Eric Parker snags the board. Under 6 minutes to go as we see the second string playing for the Express. Anderson once again fighting through the traffic and going in. He's having a game. Now the Windsor Express got to find ways to retaliate if they want to get a win here. But the London Lightning.
Foul there on Anderson. Got a little eager trying to reach in there, see if he can create a play. Again, this is not a time. Windsor's been very disciplined in this quarter, only 1 foul so far. You don't want to start racking that up and giving London on free opportunities at the rim.
And once again, the Windsor Express have to be careful, especially in this game. Despite it being the 401 rivalry, they have amassed the most personal fouls throughout the league and the most turnovers as well. So if they find a way to pull through and be wise with the shot and ball control, they could actually cut this to single digits.
Should add that we've been looking at guys who are close to getting a triple or a double-double. Ryan Anderson quietly, 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. So he's only 2 assists away from getting one of those triple-doubles.
And once again, we already seen somebody acquire a triple-double here this season. So you never know what to expect. Then again,
sorry there, Aaron, but I'm also going to add, we've got 2 players on each team over 20 points. You got 25 from Kyle Anderson, sparkling 9 of 16 shooting, and then Royce White, 8 of 9 shooting, 22 points. Looking at the Windsor Express, Logan Stutz, a very effective 10 for 17, 23 points, 9 rebounds. Maurice Jones, 20 points.
And once again, we mentioned Trey Anderson, very effective with his 15 points and 2 boards. So I think Bill Jones has found confidence in this guy. Updates from the Scotiabank Center. The Cape Breton Highlanders win 2 in a row as they pull an upset against the Hurricanes 108-102. And in a nail-biter, oxygen tank needing game down at Moncton Coliseum, the Riptide pull away against the Magic 100-99. Will this be a close game? We're the only game in town now, so you better tune in and see what unravels here in the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And double dribble called on Royce White.
For those of you who don't know, some of our crew come from Windsor.
I know at the risk of pulling it all, once again, a quick shout out to the great crew, but we'll get back to that later. Eric Parker, too much force in there, but he traveled.
Too many steps.
Oh, boy. That opens up for the London Lightning. But once again, we're proud to have a good crew here on Knockstrom.tv. Izzy Grondin and Jeremy James returning on the camera tonight. And, of course, our director, Matt Shelley. And then, of course, UI and JP up there, so good on that. Looked like a quick alley-oop. Scramble for the ball. Mike Lucier picks it up. Under 5 minutes to go. Achinpong fakes the 3, goes through Ryan. In the dust, inside, and no baskets called. 3 seconds in the key.
3 in the key there on Logan Stutz. You don't see that one a ton.
Well, that was a close call. You never know what to expect, but my goodness. So 4:50 to go, 13-point game. Nobody's out of the woods yet. Anderson. Drives past, fires a 3. It goes off. Stutz on the rebound. Achinpong gets flustered, and that's who the Lightning's advantage, KWJ. Here comes the jam. Boy, you talk about broken plays. It was a 4-on-1 opportunity for the London Lightning when that steal was converted.
London doing an excellent job of turning those broken plays into points, and that's really been the difference, is Windsor's missed opportunities frequently being converted into 2 points the other way.
KWJ again flying in, but so is Marcus Capers. And that's going to be a timeout. Bill Jones has seen enough as his lead of balloons to 17, 117-100 with a matter of minutes to go. Impressive fourth quarter for the London Lightning, but then again, what else can you expect from them? Very explosive right out of the gate, and now they are trying to seize the deal as they are en route to 4 wins in a row.
And, they really show their veteran leadership and the fact that they have guys who know what they're doing, who have played in tough situations. When you get into moments like this is an Express team that's made some runs, never really have gone away, always hanging around, but London hasn't let up. They've kept the pressure on the entire way. And just like that, the London Lightning continue to expand on their lead. They continue to make this tough on the Windsor Express. Windsor's had some pretty good basketball. They played a good fourth quarter here, but London has not let up in the slightest, and that's put Windsor in a lot of trouble here. They're really running out of time to make something happen.
You want to know how much confidence both of these coaches have in these teams? They have a mixture of their first and second string in right now, and they have been delivering on both ends of the court. Hats off to Keith Vassell and Bill Jones for making what is a gutsy decision, but they're on that roster for a reason. They know how to deliver, and they know how to convert quick buckets if need be. So now it's a matter of moments to find out which second string is superior at the end of the day. So the Windsor Express will get the ball on the baseline with 4:02 to go in this one. The Express, plenty of fouls to give. They only have 5 more fouls, and the Lightning have 3. And we have seen time and time again in this rivalry that the fouls to give really matter down the stretch. Anderson on the pull-up, gets contested. The bank is open. Trey Anderson going at it. 17 points for him. Williamson. Stutz giving him space. Now Capers. Royce. In the triple threat. Fakes, drives. 2 on the shot clock. Fires away, and he got it. How did he get that with one hand stretched out? I'll never know. It was a tug of war for him.
Eric Parker literally grabbing and pulling on Royce White's arm, but you know, sometimes when you're just too good, you're too good. And Royce White able to convert with the one hand, just a little flick, able to get it into the rim.
You know, once again, tug and war and basketball really have their similarities. If you pull strong enough or have enough effort, you will win. And Royce White did win that battle. 18-point game, 120 to 102. Trey Anderson again. The follow by Lucier, no good. Stutz tried to keep it alive, but couldn't. Kyle Johnson's the guy that gets the rebound. So the Windsor Express going ahead. They'll play at the Auditorium on New Year's Eve this Sunday against the Titans. And we'll be back here tomorrow where the Lightning will play host to the River Lions. Blowing through, Williamson.
So smooth getting to the bucket there. Here, Williamson, just one heck of a player. Lightning up 20.
122 to 102. And this game is all but over. But the London Lightning are set to pick up their 4th in a row. Parker off the glass, no good. Anderson, quick blow by over to Williamson. With a ball movement. Royce gets Stutz all in the air. Kyle Johnson fires a 3. That shot won't go.
I think they're going to call a foul either on Stutz or Anderson down low before the shot.
Michael Etchepong with the foul. Once again, both of these clubs are doing a good job in fouling situations. Considering how Windsor is throughout the season with it, they have really maintained control and composure as well. Logan Stutz, quick reach. So the Windsor Express, they don't want to go into the Auditorium losing 2 in a row, but the way things are going right now, if they don't come up with some quick options, that's going to have to be the case as a quick foul is drawn.
Another one. Fans starting to heckle Logan Stutz now.
Well, if it isn't Logan Stutz, it's somebody else from the Express. Anderson off the quick deflection, misses the 3, and Trey Anderson with the rebound. Down to 2 minutes here in the evening. Logan Stutz misses the shot. Eric Parker tried to follow through, but Anderson won't have any of it. Royce gets the deflection, goes behind the back, puts it up, no good. Tip and slam right there. Marcus Capers.
I think that's going to be all she wrote right there. Windsor left it a little too late to try and get a comeback here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I had a ball, and I'll see you down there at the Knockstrom post game as Etchepong misses the 3. Chris Croucher, I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll leave it all to you, my man.
Williamson fouled going to the rim, no call. Johnson able to get the putback. We're going to have a timeout here. Not sure who called it. Pardon me, it's just going to be a substitution. Seeing what's going on the court here. Mass substitution here for the London Lightning. That's going to be Capers, Herring Jr., D'Alembert, and Dixon Green coming into the game. Kyle Johnson stays on the court. And Achampong drops the toss in there. Going down low. This is Anderson. Finds the Kempong. Makes the shot. A tough one. Lightning back the other way, looking to close out the game here. 126-104, minute 15 to play. Herring Jr. just going to take his time. Stares down Lucier. Trying to shake him. Lucier sticking with him. Unable to get it to go. Windsor the other way. Parker with the rebound. Achampong coming the other way. Looked for Parker on the roll, not going to go. Lucier gives a Kempong his dribble back. Parker to the deep three, unable to go. Not much time on the shot clock, had to force that. Lightning again, going to bleed this down to about 13 seconds if they can run out most of the shot clock. Instead, they go for the three. Kyle Johnson with a little bit of salt in the wound there. 129-104, 24 seconds left. Windsor, you'd think, is just going to either run out the clock or try to get some pride points here. And that's going to go there. That's going to be Trey Anderson. Again, making his first career start, having a good game, but it's not going to be enough. Kyle Johnson dribbling out the clock, letting it end, and that's going to do it for this one. 129 London Lightning, 106 for the Windsor Express. A huge Western Conference game, pardon me, as the London Lightning able to take this one and give themselves into a great spot in the conference. Windsor's going to fall to 4-6 after that loss. A hard-fought game, lots of physical play, but also a lot of scoring. The Express putting up 106 points, a very high offensive output for them, but unfortunately couldn't get their shots to go when they needed it, and London Lightning ran roughshod on the offensive end. 129 points sets them up for an absolutely great result heading into their game tomorrow night. We'll have the Knockstrom postgame for you in just a second. First, we're going to take a look at some of the leaders in this game. For the Windsor Express, 23 points, 10 rebounds for Logan Stutz. Gets himself that double-double. Maurice Jones also with 20 points. And then Trey Anderson in his first career start, 19 points on 9 of 14 shooting. A great effort for him. As for the London Lightning, 3 players over 20. Kyle Johnson with 30 points on 11 of 18 shooting. Just a sparkling night for him. 21 points for Garrett Williamson and 25 points, 11 assists for the double-double for Royce White. Ryan Anderson, oh so close to the first triple-double of the season. 14 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists. And then Marcus Capers also recording a double-double in a game where it seemed everyone on London was scoring. 17 points, 10 rebounds. We're going to throw it down to the court there. Aaron Sanders and JP are standing by, getting ready for the halftime show. Aaron, take it away.
All right, thank you, Chris. 129-106 is the final. The London Lightning show that no matter how many players you put onto the court, you could really have confidence in not only your starters, but your bench. JP, 23-point victory for them. But once again, hats off to the Windsor Express. And I think we mentioned this over and over again. Nobody expected the outpour from Trey Anderson for the Windsor Express, but he really had some big shoes to fill, and he did it justice.
Yeah, Trey Anderson, he had a pretty good game for Windsor Express tonight. Although it didn't come out their way for them, he still came away in 25 minutes with 19 points in his first start, mind you, with the Windsor Express. So he had a pretty good night. I think it's just the fact that Windsor's offense as a whole, even with they were getting faster paced shots up and getting those baskets, Aaron, it just wasn't too much because London responded as soon as they got a basket, essentially, with the transition offense. for London's side. So Trey Anderson with his 19 points, Maurice Jones with his 20, Logan Stutz with his 23. It was just all too much.
Dougie Herring Jr. does it again. Kyle Johnson, they do it again. They led scoring for the London Lightning, and they've done it so far. Hats off to Doug Herring Jr. in his homecoming.
Yeah, Doug Herring Jr., he got himself clicking, I should say, with his scoring all game long, able to make shot after shot. A lot of three-pointers added to those totals, and you mentioned guys like Kyle Johnson as well added on to that mix as well. So a lot of players standing up for the London Lightning, 19 points apiece. Garrett Williamson also getting into that mix. Plus you have Bryce White. Basically, all cylinders were going for the London Lightning's mini train instead for the Express, for them, puns intended.
And puns intended. You see, I knew you were going to do something like that, and I'm glad that you finally came right on board to that. So now the London Lightning, they can't rest up for as much as they can. They got the game against Niagara tomorrow, and the Windsor Express, they got to find some way not to lose 3 in a row this Sunday afternoon against the KW Titans. So looking forward for the Windsor Express, they got a lot of problems to solve right now. Braylon Rayson, possible injury to him. So what do you have to do if you're the Windsor Express to try to fill in his void should he not play this Sunday?
Yeah, that's going to be something where I definitely think there's going to be more tests coming up, and I do not want to speculate on air with the situation with that. But regardless, it's going to be big shoes to fill for the offensive scoring load at the very least with Braylon Rayson if he is not available for Sunday. So it's going to be something where I think Coach Jones has to definitely go deep into the bench, possibly use everyone on the bench in that situation if it need be. So it's going to be something to watch. If it's an extended issue, then that's going to be something where Windsor might have to think of the nuclear option, so to speak, the IR, possibly bring somebody in situation. We're going to have to see what happens with that, but it's going to be something definitely to adjust. And they're going to have to try and bounce back as quick as they can on the offensive side, especially tonight. You've seen their offense inside the paint working all game long for much of this game. It just was the matter, once again, of being able to keep up.
London Lightning, they split the season series with the Windsor Express. That's the last they'll see for them for now because they won't play against them again until January 28th. But going down the road, what do you take in if you're the London Lightning right now, and what are some of the positives you could take in?
Well, some of the positives, you're getting much of your group together now. Some of your champion players are now returning for possibly the rest of this campaign. So you got that positive to look for. You got the offense starting to click together like they needed to after having some struggles in the early part of the season. They're now on a 4-game winning streak. They have gone to about, I said this on Twitter, orange hot to come in. They're now red-orange hot. Once they win this game tomorrow, if they win this game, then they'll be red hot. So they got that to look forward to as a positive. And you also have as a positive having a guy like Doug Herring Jr. with his high win share and his high scoring percentages. That will be a big-time impact as well, adding on to that increase. So they got a lot of positives offensively, defensively, and roster-wise to look forward to.
And we're going to look forward to tomorrow night. The London Lightning look to go 5 in a row. Will that be the case? We're going to find out because, once again, this River Lions squad is looking to bounce back from a 5-point loss on Wednesday. But for, the London Lightning, all hopes are riding at an all-time high right now. Pieces of the puzzle are being fit in right now. But, when it came down to this 401 rivalry, they always do it justice. Not to knock on the Windsor Express, but the London Lightning, they got it done right out of the gate. So quite impressive for both teams, but it only went the London Lightning way. And one thing to take into, JP, a few weeks ago, they were in 4th place. With those four games to win, they have now jumped into 2nd place. So how does that sound?
Well, that sounds very good for London. It just shows how much can change in just a few weeks here in the NBLC. So basically, they're getting the momentum together. It's a game of runs, and we're seeing that exactly in the standings, Aaron, right now. So if London can get a run going, they'll be possibly battling for that number 1 spot in the division with the St. John's Edge in no time, potentially. So if they can keep it going, they got a lot of positives. If they have a stall out with yesterday, they're going to have to bounce back quick if they want to keep up in that race for the top seed.
And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Same time, same channel right here. London Lightning will play host to the Niagara River Lions to wrap up their 2017 campaign on to go to the 2018 year, and they might be en route to 5 wins in a row. So that will cover it up for us right here. Once again, final score, London Lightning 129, the Windsor Express 106. We thank all of you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening and behave yourselves. All right, this has been a presentation of Knockstrom Digital Media, producing the media excellence in Southern Ontario. Till tomorrow night, for JP, Justin Prince, this be Aaron Sanders saying so long from the Forest City.